Hello there, Tom Kendall from the Permaculture Research Institute, Sunshine Coast, on our property Mungaridale here in Queensland. We have a lot of volunteers come onto the property, and when I ask them to do certain things to maintain the productivity and how things function, I find it's a little bit challenging sometimes for them to understand of what I'm really wanting for them to achieve. And one of them I've quite noticed is about not really understanding or recognising edge. And so of late we've been focusing a bit more on determining or making defined the edge, so that when I ask them or request that we tidy up an area, so we don't want grass growing in our garden beds or on our swale mounds, they're challenged as to know where the grass can be and where the grass can't be, because they can't see the edge. And so what's happened here, we've got a pumpkin patch here. It's a little bit quiet at the moment. We have pumpkins grow pretty much all year round here, but they have fluctuations of growth. And so this area's been pumpkins for a while, and I found that the pumpkins grow outwards, and then no one knows where they're allowed to be and where they're not allowed to be. And because I don't get around the place so much, I can't seem to get there in time. And so we put an edge around this area. So this is just logs. We've been doing some logging, and we've established quite an edge, because before the pumpkins would keep working their way down and down and down and growing grass in amongst it, because this is a grassy area. And so then no one would know if the grass is allowed to be in there or here. They couldn't find that demarcation line. I can see it. I know, because I'm the major component of this system, so I know it is, but it gets a bit frustrating when they don't see it. And so if they can't see where that edge is, then they allow grass to grow there, because there's grass here. So now that we've got this defined line, it's going to make it much easier. And then every time when the pumpkin's starting to grow, it's going over there, we know we just fold that back in and get it to grow back into the main system, instead of coming out onto which will be a path here or the next garden bed. Because we've got a demarcation line, we've pronounced the edge, and it's just getting so much easier now to maintain. And here we have another section. This is a swale mound here, a swale in behind. I've got the vetiver grass growing here, which is on the edge of the swale. We're utilising this swale mound to grow yacon. And then before I put this edge in, this used to come down to here, and then this grass would grow into there. And I had trouble for people, again, to realise where that line was. If I came and did it, I would dig back to here, but when I sent someone else to do it, they would only come to here, and it continually had grass in here. So we put this edge on here. It's just some off-cut timbers that could have been cut for firewood, but because they were a bit straighter, I kept them for this purpose. It's also holding up the soil and the mulch so that it doesn't fall off so much. So it's got an added benefit of actually creating a raised sort of bed with the mound. But now it's much easier. We can just maintain this here, and that keeps this bed in more function. So here's another swale mound. We're definitely in a zone 3 situation here. So that means we don't come here very often, and this area doesn't get maintained as often. So here is another, just using logs from when we've been opening up some area. So could be a waste product, but we could use it as firewood, but being straighter pieces, we've kept these. I could use better. This is only rainforest timber, so it's not going to last very long, but it's giving me that edge. So I can mow this. I still do use a lawnmower, but that's getting less and less. But I can mow along this edge and then whippersnip this edge, and then I don't have the grass into the swale, because it's just going to go in there quickly as. And then when I ask a volunteer to come along, it's very easy to see. So here we have a grass growing in here. So we just, very easy to find that and then remove that by the roots, and then job's done, all good. And then, so yeah, that's just so much more benefit to have that demarcation line. And again, it's holding the material up there. In underneath this quick mulch on here, we do have wood chips We're trying to get a fungal based system in here, so that holds the wood chips there where I want it, right where my support species are growing. Definitely making life easier, putting in a good edge. I find if you have a good edge, when you come to maintain an area, you're maintaining. Otherwise, you're continually putting all your energy into the edge. Do the edge first, as soon as you can, and then life is much easier. Your maintenance is much more efficient and effective, and your volunteers can understand more of what needs to be achieved. They can see it. You know, in my mind, I can see it because it's my design, but when they don't see it, and then this makes a difference. So now they know that is mound and this is a grassy area where we use for cutting mulch. Thank you. It's Tom again from the Permaculture Research Institute, Sunshine Coast. Just to saying again, we do have courses here, and we do have practical, the courses, main courses being PDC, the Permaculture Design Certificate course, but we also do practical courses, the 8-week practical course where you can come and learn how to do this, how to use a chainsaw, how to dig it in and make it stable so it doesn't move, how to mulch, what to mulch, where the edges need to be, where the swales need to be. Come along and learn from us. Thank you.